Some stories seem too incredible to be true, and a famous legend about a Trojan War is one of them. Imagine a world where gods walked among mortals, heroes were forged in the heat of battle, and the fate of empires hinged on the whims of destiny. Welcome to the legendary tale of the Trojan War, where love, betrayal, and the clash of civilizations converged in a conflict that resonates through the ages. You've got love, betrayal, and heroes that put today's action movies to shame. Prepare to uncover the truth behind the legendary clash that pitted gods against men and kingdoms against fate, because your nearby historian will guide you on another journey to ancient times. The Trojan War is an incredibly exciting and captivating historical event that continues to capture the imagination of people even today. The Trojan War was a conflict between Mycenaean Greeks and the city of Troy, sparked by Paris. Our saga commences with Helen, a woman of such beauty that men can't help but lose their minds over her. But then enters Paris, the bold prince of Troy. Paris was a son of the king of Troy, who abducted Helen, the queen to a Greek Spartan king Menelaus, and fled back to Troy. Achaeans, united by the cry for justice, raised their banners under the command of Agamemnon, brother of the scorned Menelaus. The war has started. Here lies the historical crux that binds myth and reality. A wealth of archaeological treasures unearthed from the ruins of Troy, now resting in the soil of modern-day Turkey, whisper tales of citadels, chariots, and the very walls that once held the fate of a city. While the Trojan War is primarily a legend, archaeological evidence suggests that there was indeed a historical conflict in the ancient city of Troy. There is a general consensus that Troy did exist, and that it was a significant center of activity during the Bronze Age. The most widely accepted location for ancient Troy is Hisarlik, a hill in northwestern Turkey near the Dardanelles Strait. This site was first excavated by German archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann in the late 19th century. While there is a prevailing consensus on the location of Troy being at Hisarlik, some researchers have proposed alternative locations for Troy. New discoveries and interpretations are challenging established views, and the search for historical truth is often a collaborative effort involving various experts from different fields. So our story begins with Paris and Helen, but prepare yourself for a fascinating twist in our saga, which is not only about them. Deities such as Zeus and Athena descend from the heavens, influencing the course of human events. Ancient texts and inscriptions suggest an interplay between celestial entities and mortals. Many accounts in Greek mythology target the start of the war as divine intervention, and Paris and Helen were only a sparkle. The Greek gods were in conflict with one another and designed the war to show favor to one side or to punish another. A more historical reason for the war was that the Mycenaean Greeks wanted to control the region Troy held. The Greeks gathered their armies and designed their navy to transport their large army across the Aegean Sea to besiege Troy. The Trojans gathered their allies and bolstered their defenses. Troy had massive walls and a complex defense system that made it difficult to penetrate. The action began once the Greek fleet reached the shores of modern-day Turkey near the city of Troy. The Greek plan was to besiege Troy and starve them out. The Trojans knew this and tried to attack the Greeks at their beach camp but failed. The Greeks attempted several offensives to take Troy, but the attacks proved to be costly in resources and men. The Trojans were never completely cut off and were able to keep trade and communication lines open with their allies. The Greeks raided nearby Trojan allies to fund their army and replenish resources. Achilles was the most successful of the Greek heroes during the siege. He was able to conquer surrounding cities and bring in many resources to the Greek camp. There were several inner Greek conflicts between commanders and heroes in which mutinies created difficult situations for the Greeks, but were often quelled by Achilles, Odysseus, or other heroes. The Greeks were so low on resources they had to either finish the war or retreat. They decided to take a risk on a plan designed by Odysseus to get soldiers inside the Trojan walls to end the war. The plan was to put the most elite troops inside a wooden horse that was to be given to the Trojans as a gift to bring inside the walls. The rest of the Greek army created a ruse of getting on their ships and retreating off the Trojan land. The Trojans were thrilled to see the Greek fleet leaving their lands and brought the large wooden horse inside their cities. The Trojans celebrated their supposed victory, and during this distraction, the Greeks inside the horse broke out and opened the city gates to the returning Greek army. The Greeks slaughtered or enslaved most of the population, and the city of Troy was looted, then later destroyed. The fall of Troy led to a significant loss of life and the scattering of its survivors. Women, among them Queen Hecuba and Cassandra, also faced captivity or enslavement. Though the Greeks were victorious, they did not treat their enemy with honor. The gods were angry with their behavior during the war, and many of the Greek heroes of the Trojan War did not return to Greece because of that. Most were killed in several events following the sacking of Troy, and others experienced hardships in returning home. Several returning Greek fleets didn't find their way back to Greek soil. They were destroyed by huge storms in the Aegean Sea. Odysseus took 10 years to return to his homeland following legendary events after the Trojan War. In separate videos, we unravel the threads of Odysseus's Odyssey and delve into the clashes that echoed beyond the fall of Troy, so make sure to find links in description. The epic tale of the Trojan War is more than just battles and conquests. The Trojan War's destructive consequences, loss of life, ruined cities, shattered families, serve as a grim reminder of the tragic toll that war exacts on individuals and societies. It encourages reflection on the futility and devastation caused by conflicts. The story reminds us to treat enemies with dignity and empathy, recognizing their humanity even in conflict. Showing compassion towards civilians defines our shared humanity, a virtue even evident to the ancient Greek gods and acknowledged by Homer, the storyteller behind this tale. Join our journey by subscribing, and let the winds of history, guided by your nearby historian, weave a tapestry of legendary proportions, delivering timeless lessons that remain relevant in our world today.